Kate, did you ever buy something that changed your life in a way you never thought it would?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's Prospector show here on Rock 107, and I made a mistake. A rookie mistake, really, if you think about it. Something I should have known better about, but I bought my new puppy, Puka. My wife, Tara, and I got a new puppy, Puka, a couple weeks ago. She's awesome. We got her a bunch of toys. You know, you get out and you get some toys like chew bones and plushies and one of those like puzzle feeders that's supposed to stimulate the dog and keep him busy and all that stuff, and a squeaky toy. So she's got more toys now than Richie Rich on Christmas morning. What does Puka love?
Oh, let me take a guess. The squeaky toy.
Absolutely. That's the only thing. Like somehow Puka has a sixth sense when there's peace and quiet in the house. The second I settle into the couch for an afternoon nap, all of a sudden it's going nuts. That's all I hear. That's actually Puka playing with her toy last night.
What is exactly the toy shaped like?
It's a raccoon.
Oh, no.
It's a long raccoon, and it's got a squeaker in the tail and one in the head. So she's got two places to make it squeak, and bang, she's going there. So it's like, no sleep for you, and you ignore it thinking she's going to get bored. No. She doubled down. It went from casual squeaks to that cacophony and noise you heard like she's conducting an all-squeak orchestra with no regard for human sanity. I don't know. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm watching TV. You try to do that? No, you can't because all of a sudden it's just Squeak Fest 95, you know? Yeah, I missed plot twists. I don't know, because Puka's finding the perfect moment to go to town on her toy, the squeaky raccoon. Dramatic pause in the show? No. Squeaking. It's just squeaking. I don't know. I pulled my phone out and recorded this last night for the Squeak Symphony. Like, I couldn't believe how fast and how often she was doing it.
It's just going.
It's like she just doesn't stop. I don't know what's going on. And have you tried hiding the toys, like, when that happens?
Oh, she'll find it.
Oh, she'll find it. She's like, all of a sudden, she's a bloodhound now. You know what I mean? Like, I actually put it, like, on top of something where she couldn't see it because she's still really, really small. And then she's walking around with her nose up in the air sniffing. Next thing, she's trying to climb up onto the top of the coffee table to get it. Just like something, she's like working at the FBI or something like that. So I now live in a world where napping is a distant memory, and every show I watch now comes with the unexpected soundtrack of squeaking.
You'll get used to it.
But you know what? At least somebody in their house is enjoying it and having the time of their life.
Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Egg prices are up 53% since last year. It's so bad that I had to take out a McLoan for my McMuffin. In the past year, train thieves in the United States have stolen $2 million worth of Nike shoes, which works out to about 3 pairs of Air Jordans. Yesterday was the birthday of Dr. John Kellogg, the inventor of cornflakes. He first served cornflakes to his mental patients in Battle Creek, Michigan, but they ignored them because they were already cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Making sure breaking news stays broken. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
That's not going to be a Muppet.
I said the Incredible Hulk and just Bruce Banner as a human.
Now, I like Smokey and the Bandit, and only the Bandit is human, but that's what we're talking about this morning. That's what we want to know. Got a text in here that says, Full Metal Jacket, Sergeant Hartman is the only human left.
Just screaming at Muppets.
It's already taken a dark turn, but yeah, could you imagine the whole, like, drill sergeant thing? That'd be pretty funny. Guy
from your Twitter said, The Godfather, Marlon Brando stays.
Okay, Marlon Brando is the only non-Muppet in that movie. That's pretty funny. Tim from Dunmore on the Rock Lines. We're Muppet in a movie where only one character's human. What do you got, buddy?
I think I'd go with Talladega Nights.
Everyone in it is a Muppet except for who?
Oh, Will Ferrell.
I'm a big Will Ferrell fan. I like Will Ferrell, but for some reason, him being the only guy who's not a Muppet in there kind of creeps me out. Although I kind of like the idea of, like, the team owner being a Muppet and, like, you know, his wife, who's like a weird character in the movie, being a Muppet.
Side characters.
Yeah, I think that's really funny. I dig this.
Steve from your Instagram said Basic Instinct and Sharon Stone stays.
All right, fine, Steve, if that's how you want to play it. Another text, Saving Private Ryan, Matt Damon stays as the only human. Okay, that softens the tone of that movie quite a bit.
Karen from our TikTok said, Top Gun, Tom Cruise stays a human.
There you go. Very nice. The volleyball scene gets a lot sillier. Glenn from Sweet Valley on the Rock Lines. We're going to Muppet a movie. One person's still a human. What do you got, buddy?
How about Deep Throat?
So who's not a Muppet?
Who's not? Linda Lovelace.
Got one open mic on the Rock 107 app.
I say The Princess Bride. Keep Carrie Elways, and the rest are all Muppets.
What about Mandy? What about Mandy Patinkin?
You gotta give people credit. Some of these are very creative.
Absolutely. This is what I love about this. We're taking a movie and we're muppeting that movie.
Valerie from your Facebook said, Purple Rain, of course, Prince stays.
How could you make Muppet Prince? It's got to be real in that one. Absolutely. Another text in on the rock lines, 1-888-ROCK 107. Die Hard, and Hans Gruber is still human. Now, I would have said John McClane, but here's what makes that better. Imagine a shirtless, bloodied, muppeted John McClane dropping a real Hans Gruber off Nakatomi Tower. That's fantastic.
Christina from your Instagram said, Lord of the Rings, Gandalf is human, and also Titanic, Captain Smith is the only human.
Never seen either of those movies, so I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, what do I know? But it sounds like it could be good. Ed in drums on the rock line. We are muppeting a movie. What do you got, buddy?
John Wick.
All right, John Wick, but I'm assuming Keanu Reeves is normal.
Yes.
So now he's just running around, and a whole bunch of Muppets are trying to kill him, and he's just coming up with super creative ways to murder them, right?
Yes.
Got one on the rock lines. Take a movie, Muppeted, except for one character who's human. What do you got, Rock 107?
Hey, how about Bohemian Rhapsody? Everyone's a Muppet but Freddie Mercury.
See, now I was hoping Freddie Mercury would be a Muppet with big, huge, elongated teeth.
Whatever.
See, he doesn't like that. Whatever. All right, that's fine.
And Tom from your Facebook, and this is another Lord of the Rings one.
Okay.
But Aragorn is the only human.
All right, we're Muppeted movies on Rock 107. Should be a great time. It is exactly what you think it is when you hear Nep-Tac-Toe. It's tic-tac-toe. It's a showdown, and it helps out NEPTA, the Northeast PA Theatrical Alliance.
And there's quite a lineup. So we have Scott Schaefer and Carrie Kearns from WNEP, the Times Tribune columnist Chris Kelly, and Shayna Baszler from WWE.
Now, also, of course, Gabrielle Ruiz from CW's My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Aaron from Breaking Ben. There's so many people in this. I really don't belong on this stage
I was going
at
to
all.
say, and somehow you.
Yeah, I have no idea how that
You were
happened.
there, too.
Couldn't tell you. Yeah.
The goal of the event is to raise funds for NEPTA, the scholarship fund that each year will award at least one scholarship for a high school senior who is going to college majoring in the arts or arts education.
Which I think is a great idea. It's a night of drinks. It's a night of laughs. It's going to be a great game of tic-tac-toe that I'm sure I'll screw up. The doors open at 6, so get there early, grab a drink, mingle, and check out some of those raffle prizes before that main event kicks off at 7 o'clock.
And you have a chance to be one of the 4 contestants to come up on stage and play. They're picking contestants from the audience, so get your tickets now.
Go to www.nepta theater.org/neptacto to buy your tickets.
Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
A guy from Omaha, Nebraska got his high school class ring back 44 years after it went missing in 1981. A man 70 miles away in Rockport, Missouri found it in the dirt while working on his garden. Jerry Crocker graduated in 1978 and lives in Florida now. His flower shop in Omaha that sold potted plants. He thinks maybe it fell off while he was working at the shop, and that's how it ended up in the guy's garden.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
It's time to have a little fun on the phones. Good morning. I'm Rock 107's Prospector, and got a message from a guy named Ryan who manages a restaurant, a bar restaurant, and they serve buffalo wings there. He wanted to prank one of his guys there, so I thought, okay, let's talk about the buffalo wings and, where the meat comes from and all that. It's another Prospector prank call on Rock 107. Yeah, hi. I had a quick question. I want to come down with some of my friends, but I have an allergy, and I really want to know, what's the percentage of buffalo in the wings?
What do you mean by buffalo?
Yeah, like buffalo meat. How much buffalo meat do you put in what you're serving?
I don't quite understand. We don't have buffalo in the meat.
So you have no buffalo at all? 0%?
No, it's just buffalo sauce.
Okay, so wait a minute. What's the meat then?
The meat's just chicken wings.
Wait a second. You're saying there's no buffalo meat at all in something you're calling a buffalo wing?
Buffalo sauce. The wings are dipped in buffalo sauce.
Okay, so how much buffalo is in the sauce?
Well, the sauce doesn't come from buffaloes. It's just called buffalo sauce.
Well, here's what's confusing to me, because I want to come down there, but you're telling me the buffalo wings don't have buffalo meat or buffalo in the sauce. I mean, it sounds to me like it's a little sketchy to me, and I'm sure you can understand that, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's just the sauce. I mean, it's called buffalo sauce, but doesn't actually have buffalo in the sauce.
So, like, what's the story behind that? Because to me, it sounds like false advertising.
I don't really know. I just work here. We just call it buffalo wings.
Don't you think that's kind of false advertising?
Sir, I gotta get going.
No, wait a minute. I understand you got to go, but think about this. Buffalo wings. It says buffalo. Where am I going to get that?
Never seen a buffalo with wings.
Now, what difference does that make?
Then where would you find a buffalo?
On your menu, right? It's on your menu.
I know, but those aren't actual buffalo wings. It's buffalo sauce.
Well, then a buffalo sauce that has no buffalo in it. Do you see the fraud?
No, they're chicken wings. Sorry,
No, look. You gotta tell me where I can get the buffalo. The buffalo. I gotta know where to get the buffalo.
Is this a joke?
No, it's not a joke. It's a prosy. Don't you know the difference?
No, it might be.
Yeah, you're being pranked on Rock 107 right now. It's Prospector prank call, man.
No way.
Your manager Ryan told us we could call him prank you, dude.
Doesn't everybody know buffalo wing sauce doesn't have buffalo?
Yeah, everybody except me, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather around the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
You've heard of thieves stealing everything but the kitchen sink. That's the kitchen sink. At least one bathroom sink has been jacked. A restaurant in the United Kingdom says they believe a woman went into the restroom last week and walked out about 12 minutes later with their bathroom sink. The whole thing. Just stuffed it in a big bag and walked out. The owner says he and his staff later discovered the sink and some of the pipework was mysteriously gone. Looking back at the security footage, they saw a woman who they believe stole it. She wasn't eating there at the time. She walked in, went straight to the restroom, walked out with a bag that was certainly big enough to hold a sink. They don't have cameras inside the restrooms for obvious reasons. The owner says the sink wasn't expensive. It's imitation stone. It'll cost about $200 to replace, which makes this even stranger that someone went through all that trouble to take it in the first place.
Nominee number 2.
If you needed another reason not to buy quinoa, a 23-year-old woman in New Hampshire named Kelly Tetford was arrested after she urinated on quinoa at a grocery store called the Mondonic Food Co-op earlier this month, and it was very intentional. She reportedly soiled multiple products, including raw walnuts, organic coconut shreds, organic polenta, cornmeal, and 3 types of quinoa: red quinoa, white quinoa, and tri-colored quinoa. Where Kelly recorded herself doing it, then put the items back on the shelf, and posted the footage on her OnlyFans page, which she charges $6 a month to access. She did this many times, not just at this store, but at other places in the area too. Cops said she's been doing similar videos since at least 2021. The co-op lost $1,500 in merchandise and cleaning costs, and there are probably additional damages at other places, though they haven't said where. Kelly was charged with criminal mischief, a felony, and could face additional charges. The investigation is ongoing.
And the winner is
the woman who was caught urinating on quinoa at a grocery store for her OnlyFans page. You are the Yam Bag of the Day. And we'll move on to Friday's Yam Bag of the Week competition. Keep it here Friday morning for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Week on Rock 107. An app, a free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.